archer game, which there is some fairly easy or fairly consistent at the very least setups to do. Looks like both is starting here at Link's house, getting a heart container. Not bad.
Yeah, another thing to notice, we're going to have a huge amount of information on the Dark Hole map, so hopefully our tracker team, and this Druid, can keep up with it for this first race. And there it is. Green Pennant at Pod, and I saw 5-6. They are at Skullwoods and Thieves Town. And I believe Turtle Rock was also a pendant.
Yeah, Turtle Rock was also a pendant, and the last pendant is somewhere in the light world.
Alright.
Tree pull only giving Qirn some hearts.
I don't know that one was actually... I don't know actually that was the tree pull there. I thought it would be the one closer to the Hype Cave.
Yeah, there's a couple of ones. Unique item in the castle. Not a bad hint, although a spot that you don't see left unchecked too often in Inverted, but definitely a possibility.
Yeah,
just
and
to maybe not prioritize that.
Well, I happen to know that there is at least one guaranteed boots hint in the pool, and that it can be disguised as a unique item. So that could be our boots hint.
Yeah.
But regardless, the unique item, more often than not, that's value, and in most cases, progression as well. Because given the fact we only have one pendant in the light world, it is very high odds that it is going to be our book. That it's going to be Desert as a Crystal. Ooh, great poultry there from Qirn, getting 80 rupees there.
Yeah, that's going to be enough to go actually buy 10 bombs. Or head over to the game as well, if you were rather to that.
Yeah, and while we were talking, thalane did a little bit more of a common strat here. He went to Skull Woods to farm the bomb pots there over by the big key drop down, or the big chest drop down rather.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice place to have some guaranteed bombs. Picking up bombs, Qirn picking up some of his own, and there's a mirror from Skullwoods, so that's a pretty nice pickup. Mirror is super nice to have in Inverted.
Yeah, great find there. If needed, we can do some mirror super bunny checks if our Moon Pro is supremely late, and I know how late it can get.
And Qirn is going for Archer game, getting 1, getting 2. Well, made her money back at the very least, and that's the 4th one, and a perfect Archer game. That's how you do it.
And someone is actually asking, how did he get a different tree pull? There's 3 different pull tree values that you get. One is by killing 4+ enemies. One is by killing 1 to 3. And I believe the other one is either killing 3 or 4 enemies without taking damage. I think it's 3. In game, a lot of digs here.
Yeah, for sure. All for a red rupee. Making sure to do a few more digs here, maybe pick up some money or magic.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get our first look at Hype Cave here.
And Sea House as well. Sea House not giving us much value, but let's see what if Hype Cave can. Not starting off very strongly.
Yeah.
Armor?
That's better.
Ah!
And flippers, okay. It gives us access to the East Dark World.
It's access to East Dark World, and also to at least a couple of hints if you wanted to check them out. There's the one at Ice Palaces right in the entranceway. That one's obvious. There's also the one in Pod. But there's also one at the dead end next to the Lake of Ill-Omen. The one where... But that one actually is glove locked, and not many people go there.
Yeah. Yeah, with the early mirror, we might actually see that hint whenever our runners go by Ice Road Cave. Thalane took a pretty unfortunate death there right before heading into Feast Town, so it's gonna head over to Hype Cave instead. Funny, I talked with both of these runners about what their favorite and least favorite items is, and Thalane's dance game item is that green rupee that he just picked up.
Yeah, and unfortunately, there's 2 chances in the entire pool for that, so it's not even a unique item. It's just just a garbage item, really.
Yeah, Tilana likes the hookshot and dislikes the green rupee. And Qirn likes to have a bottle with a fairy so he can do glitches, and dislikes to get the moon probe just because like all the glitches with the fairies.
So Slam will be getting these 3 bombs here now. Both runners now on blue mail as well. We haven't found a weapon yet, though.
Not yet, no.
I think our weapon's actually... No, it has to be. It's an early dive into Thieves Town to get those first 4.
Could be. We do have the Pyramid and Palace of Darkness in Logic as well at the moment, but yeah, we don't have too many options early on, which usually tends to happen in Inverted. You are kind of forced to get progression pretty fast. To see Lana going for some perfect archer game here as well. Even doing a second round here.
It's not as difficult as it looks. If you look and you can see that he's shooting it roughly around the time the target is at the second curtain from the right. Usually that's a pretty good indication that you'll hit your target every time. Makes the money grind a little bit more consistent there.
Yeah. And it's very interesting, like how a different game mode can just take something that was like never used ever in a randomizer basically, and then just make it pretty much the meta to just use that to farm some money.
Yeah, and it's only meta in Inverted because the seeds can get rather money starved. Because there's a lot of stuff you have to buy in Dark World. The 30 rupees needed to play the chess minigame, the 80 rupees to do the ding game, the 110 rupees to go see Kiki. It's quite a tall order.
Qirn using both the 50-50 bushes there, getting no bombs, but we'll have another shot coming out here from the bomb pod.
Yeah, we're gonna see what chess game is real quick. From both our runners, it's gonna be a little bit of a high five.
Yeah, syncing up here for since the start really. That's a small shield. Well, if we get a second shield, that could actually be pretty useful if we have to fight blind early.
Yeah, very useful. I love that fire shield. It's one of my favorite items. And Vicky right away, that had to be one of the 4. Now the question is, what's in the rest? It has to be a weapon of some kind.
Well, there's another dungeon item.
Yeah, we're seeing 2 different paths through the place here. It's kind of interesting how some minor divergence can make a big deal. Wow. We're only going to get 1 item here unless we dive deeper in. Okay. Power Glove. That almost have that hint at the Dark Ice Rod location, like I mentioned. People sometimes refer to that as Shopping Mall.
Yeah.
And that's usually because of the in-entrance randomizer. That's usually where a lot of shops go. But that opens up catfish as well.
Yeah, it does.
And only in inverted mode, it's one of the 3 pieces to Aga access.
Yeah, and getting the small key in the front, which they got, also puts the back of Feast Honey and Logic as well.
Alright, so the hellway here is kind of a dangerous place, but getting through it okay. They have 4 hearts blue mail, so it's pretty fine. And common strat practice, you read the hint. And unfortunately today the hint is a dud. Trabooses are being relatively nice to Qirn there.
Yeah, it's the hints can definitely be helpful, but sometimes they just cost you a little bit of extra time instead.
Yeah.
But definitely worth checking, especially if you believe that your opponent is gonna check them as well.
Yeah, now both runners have to be somewhat careful here because those buzzes there, they do 1 whole heart each, and we only got a big 20 here. Both of the anything good's in the back. Man.
Well, yeah, you went this far, you might as well check the last chest in Logic here.
Yeah. Now the question is, do you bother taking blind up to the front to make it so you don't have to come back all the way through the dungeon, or are you committed to checking that chest later and then finishing the dungeon?
Yeah, that's a good point. They do, it's very likely it's gonna be an item in the big chest.
No.
Especially, yeah, now it's guaranteed, so...
Yeah, so... Thalane's gonna walk blind back, as is Qirn. So this tells me one of 2 things. Either they are forsaking the big chest item, or they're basically going to commit to a unscripted blind fight later. And full clear the dungeon regardless. Alright, Thalane now moving over towards the Lake of Ill Omen. Has to swim through it in order to get to the east side. And Qirn is gonna be right on his heels here. Qirn's also gonna take advantage of this shop. Normally it's a fortune... Or is it a shop in the normal game? I forget. Regardless, we added a blue potion there for safety's sake. So he gonna go ahead and buy that there. Which is somewhat interesting because Dark Lumberjack is a shop as well, and that still sells red potions.
Yeah, sorry, I had to step away there for a short while. Did I miss anything?
Both of them took one back, and Qirn got a blue. That's about it.
Okay, yeah. So Thalane is going for the pyramid.
And there's our
and
weapon.
There's a sword. Yeah, and that's well, that puts blind in Logic then.
Puts blind in Logic. It's also the second piece of our Aga access. We needed a weapon in order to climb the tower.
Yeah.
And of course, the third piece is the lamp. We don't need to have Master Sword for the Aga 1 fight in inverted mode. The barrier's not there. All you need the sword for really is to cut the curtain and to reflect the shots.
Yeah, when thinking about Aga, having the mirror early tends to be a little bit of a sign for Aga as well, because there's a lot more things opening up in the light world if you actually have the mirror.
Yeah. Speaking of the mirror, actually, we never did mention this about inverted. Probably thinking, oh, there's gonna be a lot less checks because Light World's mirror lock locations are gonna be mirror locked. In inverted mode, we've done a little terraforming. There's our lamp. Uh-oh.
Yeah, this seems like we're seeing a pattern here, I would say.
Yeah. But like I was saying, in inverted, we've done a little bit of terraforming to the Light World map so that any of the and all mirror lock locations can be traversed normally. Be it just adding some stairs, adding some ground, or just adding a bridge in the case of floating island.
So, Qirn, by getting that lamp, did miss the sword, however. So that is gonna hurt them going up here if this is indeed an Agaseed.
Yeah. I think Thalane's routing was just a little bit better because of that sword pickup. Because now he knows he can do Aga. Whereas Qirn might be wandering for a little bit longer trying to find the logic. And we still have to say the old man here, and that is also another change we've made, is that was supposed to be Bumper Cave. Bumper Cave is now in the Light World, and as an added requirement, you need the cape and the mirror.
Yeah.
The Bumper Cave item now.
So many old men on the screen right now.
Yeah. I would joke and say there's 4 there, but one of them is shy. But that one's too much of a stretch. And desert is our 3rd pendant, so the book is not required. And we have a cape on the Spectacle Rock.
Yeah. Could also a little bit less lowering the chances of boots being required as well.
Yeah, boots not being required is a huge assist. Of course, it won't be that much of a time loss, really, because if they have to defeat Aga, which is looking like it's likely at this point, with the mirror, it's just a save and quit in the Light World, and you are going to be right on top of the castle, ready to go into Ganon's Tower.
Just bombs up here in Spectacle Rock. This is an item that isn't logic without the Mirror Pearl. But nothing today, not even getting a good hint as well.
Yeah. Qirn's gonna stay as a skeleton.
Yeah, it seems to have something planned here.
Well, he can't do much.
I can walk up here in the mirror, I guess, instead of walking all this way from the bottom again.
I suppose that is true, but it looks like it was just a little bit faster, just a saving quit like the lane did. And yeah, as you can see, Ganon's Tower is completely open, but that's actually Aga Tower here in inverted mode. And nice baiting the Lionels there. Oh! They tried.
Yeah. And they got Qirn. Had 1 heart less than Lana did.
Yeah. And it looks like, I briefly saw there, but it looks like Quake was our medallion for Turtle Rock. Not that that's absolutely required in inverted mode.
Yeah, it could be, but with the mirror, it seems less likely. There's our red mail. That's pretty nice to have.
Yeah. So our 5 hearts might as well be 15 with the quadruple defense, essentially.
Yeah, I bet that's gonna sting a little bit extra for Qirn heading over there, just taking a death against the Lionels and then getting red mail right afterwards. And Lana is going up again. So it looks like we're going to beat Aga. That's the play that they're gonna make.
Well, if it's not Aga, then it's something in... I didn't know this guy gave you a recipe, apparently. That's amazing. But yeah, I didn't know that, if it's not Aga here, it's, Pod, and it's only really one item that you can get at this point in time without the bow, if it's, key locked.
Could be, we also have blind and logic, but yeah, at this point, just like running from one location to the other in the dark world seems a little bit whiffy. I definitely understand just going for the Aga play here. Now, Qirn had decided to go up the mountain before getting that sword. It's going to be interesting to see if they decide to go straight up to the mountain again and do it, or if, since they're over at the pyramid, maybe just heading to Pod instead.
Oh, we're gonna see what Ice Palace's hint is. And that one, unfortunately, is not that useful. It's just telling us that any NPC that gives us an item, one of them has cash.
Yeah, not really time loss, just going over there, since we're gonna pass through anyway, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Any sort of edge that you can get against your opponent is always something you want to have up your sleeve.
And Arisha Michael K actually does pointing out, he already did get someone to give us a single rupee. But sometimes the hints can be interpreted in multiple ways, because there might be more than one instance of the friendly NPC giving us cash.
Could be, yeah.
Like, I've seen a unique item is in Ice Palace. I don't know what it would refer to, because all three of the items were unique. Sword now.
Sword from Qirn, and a unique item in Thieves Town.
We haven't
We got the flippers, right, in Thieves Town?
Yes, but Thieves Town hint refers to the dungeon, so there's something on blind or in the big chest. Yes.
So flippers not in Thieves Town?
Oh, wait, no. The gloves were also a unique item. I almost forgot about that.
Oh, there was gloves, okay.
So yeah, that's another one of those hints you can interpret as, okay, it's just that's a hint for the gloves. Thanks, game. But it could mean something else. We haven't fully cleared out Thieves Town, so there might be more than one unique item. Alright, so we're about to be seeing what Aga 1 has in store for us here today. How many blue balls do you think we're gonna see?
I'm just gonna go with like a standard of 3, I think. Nothing too special. We might be saving this more special fights for the sort of seat, I guess.
I suppose that's true. I'm gonna go with 2 then.
Oh, and Pod is not bow locked straight away, so we could get potentially a lot of items in here. And Qirn having the bottle can do the bow side anyways. There's our first blue ball from Agahnim. Or was that the second one, maybe?
Looks like that was 3 hits. And, well, thanks, game. We now know that the super bomb item is not worth it. Just some money and some arrows, I think? It was consumable items, so you don't really care.
Yeah, as long as we know that's nothing worth our time, then it doesn't really matter so much. I guess down, that was a pretty fast fight. I think there was only 1 or 2 blue balls.
Yeah, and unfortunately, without the Moon Pearl, thalane is going to stay as the bunny here, and this is where things get difficult.
Yeah, post Aga world with no way to really defend yourself, you really need to be a little bit careful.
Yeah. Aga 1 is arguably more lethal in inverted than it is in Aga 2 because you get the hard light world immediately. And there's just a lot of guards ready to ambush you at the castle.
Yeah, and in a normal seed, like an open or standard one, there's only really one thing you can do in logic after beating Aga 1, which is checking the pyramid, so you don't really need to worry about enemies that way. So Stick Kid is in logic and has another bottle.
Yeah. Something that I don't know if, oh!
Yes, that's the flute. The flute doesn't do anything before beating Aga though, because you have to activate it in the light world, so...
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Well, thalane is gonna mirror here and just clear out the rest of Feast Town since they're already over here. Makes sense.
But you know what?
Still gonna have to leave the big chest.
But you know what? That means our Meyer Shed could have our Moon Pearl.
Yeah. You get there both with the flute and also just walk over to the desert as well and just mirror.
Yeah. Of course, I've seen the Moon Pearl, arguably one of the worst locations. I saw it at Purple Chest one time.
Yeah, that's totally in logic as well, together with the smith with that mirror. It does open up a lot of very interesting plays. Well, that turned out to be a rather clutch fight in the end. But blind is down, but only a big 20 from it, so that's the first crystal though for Jelana, so that's good.
And actually, someone in chat is reminding us here that's actually a reaching. We can't turn the flute on without the Moon Pearl. Inverted does some weird things to your brains sometimes. That's one of them.
Okay. I always assumed you could. I've never really had that come up. I know you can use the book as a bunny.
Yeah, you can use the book and the mirror, and that's it.
So we're seeing some mirroring here. Trying to get the Super Bunny glitch so we can get some of the items here in Kakariko.
Yeah.
Looks like not really getting it. You have to mirror and enter the house at the same frame.
Yeah. Thalane...
You can slash your sword to double check if you get it or not.
Or lift one of the pots in the room.
Mm-hmm.
That was gonna go for the easier play here and just jump down the well. This puts him in Super Bunny state right away.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm not 100% sure if these count in logic, but considering Super Bunny, it's probably not.
Yeah, they do not, but there's some two really big items.
Yeah.
Broken from the Kakariko well there, getting both the Kingdom Samaria and the hookshot.
And yeah, there's two ways to set up Super Bunny. One is just to fall down a pit like you saw Thalane do in the well. The other one is mirroring on the same frame like you mentioned, which is arguably the harder of the two strats, but if you can pull it off, you can get into any place that has a bunny.
Yeah, you can also take damage at the same frame as entering a door as well, which does require you to have a fair amount of health if you can do that repeatedly though.
Well, there's the net.
Yeah, that's I don't think they care too much about that, but if we happen to find it next race when it's Swordless, they might be more interested in it. Qirn's gonna have to be really careful here, doing some pulse strats here just to make sure they don't take damage. They take damage anyways, but with Red Mail that helps a lot, and Lana getting the Titan Smiths from the Smith. That's something you don't see in an open seed.
Nope. And those Titan's mitts, they don't open up much, do they? No, wait, they open up Meyer. I think. No.
Well, we have Meyer open because of the mirror already.
Right.
They
Right.
do open up Death Mountain though. You can mirror into Turtle Rock now that you have the Titansmiths. And there's the hammer. Okay, we need the Moon Pearl for that one though.
Yeah. The only item that the myths absolutely unlock 100% though is King's Tomb.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else is just really dependent on how early we get them and what we're still missing.
Yeah. So it looks like Qirn has now realized he has to do Agahnim. And there's
yeah.
Not gonna try and Super Bunny it though. Would be a nice pickup right away in case you need it, but yeah, I can definitely understand just try and go for a logic right now. You want to get that Moon Pearl as soon as possible. You're gonna have to go back into that area anyways, clear out the rest of Kakariko, get that hammer, stuff like that. So it makes sense to just try and follow the logic right now.
Yeah, and our logic is telling us to go take this purple chest all the way over to the blacksmith. Or the thief in on the desert path.
So purple chest today having 10 arrows. We'll see if, yeah, looks like we're gonna head over to Meyer and see what that has. And if that's nothing, then I believe we have to go up to Turtle Rock.
I think Meyer's gonna have something for us. If nothing else, we can check the medallion for it, because it is a crystal.
Mm-hmm. Ledge item, there's Quake, okay.
So, book may be required if Quake is required for Misery Meyer. No, it is not. It is vanilla medallion requirements. We need to find Ether. That's the one we haven't seen yet.
Ooh, Qirn taking a fall there. It's gonna have to be a little bit careful. Only 1.5 hearts now.
Sword upgrade. And a fire rod.
And a fire rod, okay.
That puts Moth in logic.
It does, and it's a fair chunk of Ice Palace and logic as well.
Actually, we can full clear ice, can't we?
Not without the hammer.
Ah, right.
Which unfortunately they already know where it is, but I can't really get to it. And Qirn is living dangerously now. Did use that potion in pod, so it's gonna have to play it a little bit carefully. We have some hearts coming up in the room after this one. Ooh, okay. Place
Careful, Qirn.
Yeah, going with some bombs here. Just gotta play it safe.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's not a weapon upgrade available for him.
Should probably have this now, right?
Yeah.
Now we're getting some more hearts and playing it safe using the pulse. There's one more heart. There we go.
I would hope Moon Pearl's not in ice though for our runners.
At this point in time, I'm just hoping Moon Pearl is basically gonna be go mode. Or well, it can't really be go mode, can it? But it could be a no mode, I guess. Since we know where the hammer is.
Well, there's only so many item locations in the Dark World. Eventually, it's gonna get to the point where, oh yeah, but this is Light World. Alright. Qirn not beginning hit is Zaga fight. Meanwhile, thalane is gonna fight the Moth.
Yeah.
Decent amount of shots here. The Moth takes 4 hits from Tempered Sword. But the thing
yeah,
is,
we have.
the thing is, the spikes can nullify your hits if it gets bumped into them because they are smart and they just didn't program them off the spy community.
A really nice fight though, starting with a mass sword spinner, which technically does temper damage, and then just go with some slashes and fire rod shots.
That was our second item in Skullwoods. It's a nice. Our Moonthro's a nice phallus.
Could be, yeah.
I don't think there's no could be to it. I think it's definite because what else do we have left?
We still do have laser bridge in logic, and well, that's about it. What we have in Tartarok, which is in logic at this point.
Is
no. We also have the floating island in logic as well.
Okay, I'll give you okay, yeah, floating island I can give you, but I don't think laser is in logic without an invincibility item, is it?
Oh yeah, you're right. That's true.
There are still 1 or 2 items you can get from the middle section of Turtle Rock.
Yeah. Yeah, we can get to those actually. Yeah, chain chomp and the lava chest. And with doing that super button to get hookshot and especially the King of Mario, are gonna be able to get a couple of extra chests up here, which is not in logic at the moment, but pretty nice to be able to check those at the same time.
Yeah, actually, thalane, if he's willing to do the sequence breaking, can just grab every single chest in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, everything except for the boss.
Yeah, of course we need the ice rod for that.
It is a pendant, so we might not even need to beat the boss.
Yeah.
And speaking of sequence breaks, that's what Qirn is doing right now as well. Took a dungeon revival to get back into his normal form instead of the bunny form.
Yeah. And the best way to explain that is Link to Past had...
I think... Sorry to cut you off, but I think... Yeah, thalane is getting to notice real quick here that, wait, this is similar, that you can't mirror it up there.
Yeah. Basically, the world map is split into 3 different stages. Inverted. We have the light world, that was the Cane and Burner there. We have the dark world, and we have the underground. When you're in the underground, the game assumes that you are in our normal state.
Mm-hmm.
The game only checks for Moonthro when we're on one of the 2 overworld maps.
That's just a red rupee. So into Tartarok we go. Some laser walk skips here. And nice vanilla smoky there for Qirn, meaning they can go all the way to the back of Escape and check those chests as well.
Yeah, and we know there's a unique item in the castle somewhere. We have not yet to see it, looks like, from Qirn.
Yeah, and also a hint that only Qirn has read, so it makes a lot of sense for them to try and full clear this. They did get kind of burn now, which I missed. Might have been in the front part of Escape, so that is a unique item.
Yeah, it was in Zelda's cell.
Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, that is our unique item, isn't it?
That does mean the laser bridge can only be in logic then if there's a mirror shield available somewhere.
That's true, and
without
there's
the
your snake heart.
that is. I think this is a pretty perfect display display of what inverted can do sometimes. It can just create some really crazy and obnoxious situations like we're seeing right now.
And thankfully with the fire rod, thalane has an easy way to deal with those Hokubokus, or as we've nicknamed them, Pokey.
Mm-hmm.
because they are vulnerable to fire, and one shot just instantly kills them. Makes something that was otherwise a very annoying, tedious fight and very dangerous at low health somewhat manageable.
So Qirn did mention before the game that it does very much enjoy doing stuff as a bunny, doing glitches as a bunny. So this seems to be the seed to do so. It's gonna pick up that bottle with a fairy soon at Sickit as well. I did not see what was on the object there though.
That was only like 2 pixels for me as well. I did not see it. Alright, change that room. One of the more lethal rooms in the game.
That's a compass. We can still, with the Candace Maria's sequence break, just a little bit more in here. Oh, it takes a death though. Oh, okay. Yeah, we do have that fairy. That's right.
Yeah, good on Thalane for getting that. So these 4 items cannot be the Moon Pearl either, because that King Samaria is out of sequence.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Turtle Rock is a bust in terms of progression.
Looks like it, yeah.
So I was right. Ice is the play.
Yeah. Ice progression. Oh, there's a tempered sword, so getting some form of value from here at the very least.
Yeah. And tempered sword for Ice Palace would be pretty okay, because that'll let you spin attack the Pen Gators and kill them instantly.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you could just use the hook shot as well, but it'll speed up a couple runs.
A nice mirror for Qirn there right into Feast Town. There's the big key and another small key. So there's 2 items left in Turtle Rock. One in the big chest and one on the boss.
What did Qirn do? Oh!
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Qirn is very well versed when it comes to sequence breaking things without the move pro.
Yeah, and he sequence break the red boomerang, which isn't the greatest thing there, but yeah, having some fun exploring, it looks like, if nothing else.
Looks like we're gonna have another setup for that.
Yeah, probably to get the flute online if I had to guess. No, I don't think it would work like that. But this is new to me. What am I saying? I don't know a single thing about what Qirn's doing.
Yeah,
all I know is it's amazing.
I've heard him explain a lot of these things a bunch of times, and I'm still not sure exactly how all of them work. So we can definitely leave that as a question for after both of these racers are done. That's for sure.
I think Thalane just muscle memory there. I want to say.
Yeah, and then Sid and quit, probably forgetting that they had the mirror, because they could have just mirrored back to Ice Palace again. Oh, and there's a bow. Okay, that's a pretty nice sequence break.
Yeah. We still don't have... thing. Oh!
Oh yeah, this is something I did not realize we had access to, or I totally missed that we had both of the red crystals already. Both of them in logic as well.
Yeah, except this bomb's not going to lead to anything because we already got a hint for it.
Yeah, that's true. This fat bomb is not gonna get us anything from the big fairy.
Yeah, we've been 45 minutes without this moon pearl.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. You don't see that very often.
But it's more than likely an ice palace at this point.
Yeah, at the very least should be some form of progression in Ice Palace that would eventually lead us to Moon Pearl.
Thalane's gonna at least dip into Palace of Darkness to loot what he can, which we'll give him the flute. As far as whatever else he gets, that's still to be determined from Ice Palace. But we've pretty much checked everywhere else.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Yeah, so we know this trip over to Pod is pretty much gonna be a bust.
Well, for now. The flute will be nice to have later.
Yeah. It'll definitely help with some navigation or movement for the very least, but it's gonna be a double dip.
Yeah. The only thing that could really troll our runners is if it's the Moon Pearl's deep in Ice Palace, like Ice Tea Room. But other than that, it should be fine.
So I think this place, though, the hammer location, might be one of the spots that we, even with pits, I'm not sure if we can get that one.
Yeah. I don't see a way to do with all the glitches we've seen from Qirn. Unless he knows some way to do that storage and get it active in the house so you can use bombs.
Yeah, and even still, you still have to get your way past the bushes as well. Let's grab the Bombos medallion, which really isn't required for anything, but could make Ice Palace a little bit more convenient, I guess. Yeah, that's a...
There's the irony hint right there.
Yeah, for sure.
Alright, so Qirn is gonna be turning in the purple chest here, which you already know is nothing. Thalane looks to be hitting the ice, which let's be real, it's the Moon Pearl's there. It has to be.
It definitely feels like it, yeah. Some form of progression will be fine in here.
Well, what else can it be other than the Moon Pearl? We found pretty much every other piece that we need except for the ice rod. No, we don't even need the ice rod. We just need to find ether.
So by turning in the purple chest there, it automatically puts Qirn in the Super Money state, I believe.
And Qirn's gonna take advantage of this.
But yeah, Moon Pearl and Ether, now that you say it, looks like that is the items we're looking for.
Yeah, and we know who one if not both are in here in ice. Question is it sooner rather than later? Because if it's not, if Moon Pearl's not here in ice, then it's in Misery Mire, and it's not on Vitreous.
It looks like Qirn is gonna set up a fairy revival, rural fairy revival here.
No, he was setting up a light roll fake flipper. He set up a super bunny fake flipper.
Yeah, and I believe his intention here is to die and get revived by fairy, and that would give him all the properties of Link in the light world.
The Book of Medora is where?
Yeah, I missed that hint.
Well, regardless, Lane has information on where the Book of Medora is should we need it. Qirn? Or thalane? Yeah. There you go, buddy. No hammer to go that way.
It looks like the book was in GT, so don't really need to worry about that one.
So that means Quake is not intended for it to be in your possession.
Yeah.
And there's our moon pearl finally. Thalane, I would, yeah. Finish checking the dungeon. So thankfully, Qirn won't be too burned by the fire rod, no pun intended.
Yeah.
Because when he eventually goes to Ike's Palace to actually get the moon pearl for the logic, if he ever decides to, considering how much fun he's having with Super Bunny,
Yeah.
he can just use Bombos.
Yeah, and is gonna need to head over to Meyer at some point anyways, so he's probably not gonna miss that fire rod eventually.
Yeah, and Thalane is going to start with the flippers checks here. And I would surprise that Thalane will make a beeline to the race game.
That would make a lot of sense, yeah.
Yeah, probably also snag Bombos just in case he needs it for some AoE clears.
Yeah.
He knows he doesn't need it for anything else, but it could help him with the Cultist fight as well, speeding up the shell, giving you a little bit more magic to work with.
So by grabbing that hammer back in Kakariko, it's fairly likely that they'll just go over the rest of Kakariko that they missed before, and that will give them the bow as well.
Yeah, and we're gonna see what Ice Arcadia here is, along with maybe the hint if Thalane knows to check. And there's the fire shield, and it is getting the mirror out, so we'll be checking the Dark Eye hint.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, it's just under the rock here in the Dark World. It does technically require the hookshot and logic, but we already have the Moon Pearl, so it doesn't really matter. And knows not to go to Graveyard Ledge. Pretty okay hint. Some arrows above the pose, meaning there's just some ammunition waiting for him there.
And looks like Qirn got all of the items in Eastern, so he's just heading to the back now and collecting their crystal. It's pretty much the fastest Eastern you could get, so it's not gonna hurt him to not be able to do all of that in Go mode later.
And Thalane is actually really smart, using an the NMG strat of taking the Whirlpool shortcut over to this part of Hyrule. So I was gonna just quickly check Aga and then grab everything you can to attack Riku, and that'll basically put him into an Ether and Ghost scenario.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. Don't. So where would it be the worst place to have Ether? I'm guessing like
Worst place do you have Ether is by far on Trinex himself.
Yeah, it could be. I'd say the 2 chests we have left in the
or
desert
on
is
the
pretty
mushroom.
bad as well.
Well, no, it can't be in desert.
Well, it could be in the Agina's cave and Checkerboard cave.
Oh yeah, yeah, but it can't be anything beyond Desert Palace.
Yeah,
because that's the logic break there. Because we can't get the book. It's in GT.
yeah, and I think that makes it even worse because like you're not really gonna have a reason to go back there for a pretty long time.
And yeah, we might even see the magic bat because our hammer's just a race game. Bow here now for Thalane. And Qirn, where are you going?
Looks like Qirn is making the same play like Thalane did before, and just gonna go check Turtle Rock and the Hookshot Cave and all that. We're doing all sorts of sequence breaks and double sequence breaks today.
Yeah. And we're only on game 1 of a doubleheader here, folks, just as a reminder.
Yeah, if you like inverted, then you should definitely stay put, because game 2, that's gonna be inverted too, but just with a little bit higher difficulty rate.
Yeah, pretty much the biggest way we can give them. No swords and hard difficulty. But that'll be later. This is now.
So there's the flute activated by Lana is going to be able to flute in the dark world, not in the light world though. I guess the flute doesn't make the checkerboard cave and Agina too bad, because you can just flute over there and with the mitts pick up the rock and head into the light world. So it would be a fairly fast shake. It would be like just checking the Mario Shed, but in the light world version.
Yeah. And now we're going to start seeing some locations that I think Qirn actually missed. I don't think Qirn could do anything about Chicken Hut, and just to start there. Yeah. Qirn, for all of his work doing Sewer Bunny, did at least get 1 crystal that Thalane will have to get later, but Thalane has everything he needs to go get it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure whether or not to call that a time loss or whether or not that was...
We might see something soon here. I know that Qirn... Oh, never mind. He doesn't have access to the hammer, so never mind.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there is a way you can sequence break going over to Hera, but not without the hammer.
Yeah, there's only one real way to get to Hera, and that is with the hammer and the hookshot combined. It also locks the Ether Tablet, which has nothing for us this seed, because books in GT. And also Spectacle Rock, which only has, first today, the Magic Cape. And Thalane is not going to go ahead and grab Bombos. Is going to instead go straight back into ice and finish what he started. I can't deny that that's a solid play on his part.
Yeah.
He already has this dungeon Sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say they should know at this point they don't need bombos. But I will have to make sure they have enough magic dropping into the coaster fight, however.
Yeah, that's really the only thing I would have picked bombos up for, is to just have a easier way to break the shell and not have to worry about getting full magic by the end of it. But this is Thalane. I'm pretty sure he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, it doesn't have any potions, so we'll have to farm up a little bit of magic at the very least. We'll not really need to use any magic until Cold Stare though, because we already killed the free sword before.
Yeah. Pretty much all the magic that Thalane needs to use in this dungeon is going to be used exclusively on Cold Stare. And a nice strike there in the Penguin Bowling Room, as I'd like to call it. And yeah, you can see just how annoying Hokoboku is about the fire rod now. Especially on Fire Sword. Just segments and just gets faster and faster. Fire rod, one shot, done.
There's the Master Sword for Qirn. Not bad. Still missing that one sword from the Meyer shed.
Yeah, and we don't know where the fourth one is between both our runners just yet.
So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what route Polana goes for after this. Could be heading east to Swamp Palace. Feels fairly natural at this point when you have everything you need to clear. Basically the entire, well, all of the crystal except for Meyer. That just focusing on crystals might be the high priority.
Yeah. Now, Thalane only has about half a magic meter. That's not enough to break Cold Stare out unless he
there should be enough magic here. You get 3 pots in this room that he's going into now, and then you have 2 pots right before Cold Stare.
Yeah.
There should combined be enough magic, if only barely.
Yeah, and even then, Thalane can just use sword beams to try to stack some damage on to Cold Stare and break the shield that way.
They're also really knowledgeable when it comes to NMG. I know that they have like a 126 PB or something in NMG, so definitely something they're used to. Fighting Cold Stare with Tempered probably should not be too much of an issue.
Yeah, just burning away the shell there. Quick spin there. The Puffs got a little bit of scattering though. That's the first time I've seen that happen. But is recovering quite nicely. He's in red mail, so should not take too much damage here. And the Puffs go down fast enough with Tempered Sword. Yeah, we're already done.
And another setup for Qirn to do some sequence breaking here. This is a lot of chests that's coming up. There's 7 items, or 7 chests in here.
Yep. Now, unfortunately, Unfortunately, all these checks are for naught because Qirn is, I think, losing time now.
So it looks like Swamp is the next play here.
I mean, we have everything we need for it. Makes sense to me.
Yeah, it makes sense for sure.
Can you even
Well,
check.
Qirn...
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Can you even check? I was about to say, can you even check Mini Molder Cave before heading in, just to get that location done out of the way?
Yeah. So.
Actually, have we seen Mini Molder?
Don't think we have, no.
I forget if Qirn would
yeah.
Super Bunny that or not.
I'm pretty sure Qirn did not do it. So I don't think we have.
Oh, of course he didn't. How could he without? That means throw a bomb in the overworld.
So it looks like Qirn is now deciding to, well, it's probably time to go back into logic again. So it's gonna check the mine shed here, gonna get the fire rod, and that's fairly fast gonna inform them that, yeah, we should probably head over to Ice Palace.
So yeah, Ether is the go mode here. And Qirn is about to realize that Ice Palace has been unlocked this whole time. If he remembers it from this. And even then, we could still be in go mode because we haven't turned in that mushroom yet.
Yeah.
That has been plaguing our runners a little bit.
So Qirn is gonna head over to Mothula at first, it looks like. Makes sense. Rather go to a crystal you can clear than a crystal you know that you're gonna have to double dip at that point.
Yeah. It's a lot of help to show for all of his Super Bunny strategies, though. And it's really good because Moth doesn't really care about your armor level too much. It's mostly the spikes that deal the damage to you, not the Moth itself. And today the Moon Pearl was in the Freezor chest in Ice Palace. For those of you just now tuning into our race here.
Yeah, it was a fairly long chain to get there.
Yeah, and it really started behind Aga. You had to clear Aga so you can mirror to the light, to the Dark World, to get to the Mire Shed, which had the Fire Rod. And that was your only means to get in, unless you Super Bunnied to get Bombos, which is a sequence break. Flooded chests, not too much value there.
We definitely have items on the left side of the swamp, so I would. Very interesting to see if they decide to go there. If they make the call to the left side, if Argus does not have a progression.
Well, the way I see it, and this is probably a play that it would get me last place more often than not, but if you're one item away from potentially go mode, sans boots, you take that risk because you don't want to come back in here later.
Yeah.
Just to find out you've last location your go mode.
Yeah, it makes sense. And from the questions that I asked them before, No, did say that he likes to route as efficiently, like basically full clear the game as efficiently as possible. So if that's their strategy, then going to the left side right now would definitely make sense. You already been forced almost because of that late moon pearl to leave some one-off locations every here and there. You probably don't want to leave any more of them behind. Or we could just totally skip left side.
I mean, if it comes to bite him later, we'll know. But right now, feels that there's more value checking other locations. And there is. And really, like we said at the start, oh, there's our boots.
That would have been interesting.
And the powder.
If Qirn would have, yeah, if Qirn would have gone to that, like when they did the revival with the bunny, they would have gone to the Waldron cave instead and gotten the boots. That would have been pretty big because that would have given them the bug net as well, which could get you more fairies. Just almost basically skip the Moon Pearl for a very long time, but probably for the best that Qirn gets that Moon Pearl anyway, so they can get the hammer.
So yeah, the unique item hint. And now Thalane knows that they're going to be mostly value because got the only unique item that is a troll in the seed pool, the single arrow. So pretty much can dive on to unique items unless he knows what's there. Now, something interesting here is there are quite a few checks still left in the Kakariko Dark Village checks that those boots as well as the powder open up. We have Magic Bat now fully in logic. We have the Hammer Paste that neither runner's checked. We also have Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb. And technically we also have Graveyard Ledge, but we got a hint for that, so it doesn't really matter if we go up there.
Yeah, I believe we have like one item left in Pod as well. We have Hera, which is untouched by both runners so far.
And Thalane is not going to leave an item behind here in Swamp, or Thieves Town rather.
Yeah, that's an interesting call. If this is something, it's gonna be pretty big, but if not, then that's some time that Qirn gets to be able to catch up a little bit.
Well, here's the thing. He's basically following the hints that he's got right now. He knows a unique guy is in here, but he should have realized that's the glove. However, we're still down an item here in Thieves Town. And that unique item could have meant this whole time that there was an actual unique item here, not just the gloves.
Yeah, it could be more than one, that's for sure.
So I like what the lane's doing here. He knows that our unique items are here. They're most like progression, so he's just covering his bases, making sure he doesn't miss anything important like Ether.
Yeah, with like basically last location in the Moon Pearl as well, I wouldn't blame like any runner basically to at that point feel like maybe I'm a little bit behind at this point. So doing a few like calculated gambles worth it, I would say. Not in this case though, because that was just a big 20. So if Qirn never goes back to that, that's some time that they can make up.
Yeah.
And
now,
even though like Lana has done some more dungeons and which is required, Qirn has with those sequence breaks done a lot of overworld that they don't really have to go back to.
Yeah, and Chad is saying Bohan was Lucas Seattle. Well, here's the thing. The only unique item that was in Thieves Town was the gloves, so in terms of our hints, they consider them unique.
Yep.
And this seed is perfect proof.
Yeah, there's 2 gloves, but they're different enough that they count as being unique. So we're gonna see a Death Mountain check here. Makes sense, there's so much items up here. We know that Paradox has nothing, but we could see something in Mimic Cave, we could see something in the Spiral Cave, and we do have Hera and even Spike Cave as well, so there's still a lot of items up here to check for.
And for those just tuning in, we are an hour 16 minutes into this race. We are just missing Ether for a go mode on Thalane, and we have no idea where it is. Qirn has a little bit more footwork to do just getting the Moon Pearl. Did a lot of funny stuff though, so he knows where most of the items he's missing are.
Yeah, and it will still only be now that they're gonna pick up the hammer here. It will still only be the Ether for go mode for Qirn as well.
Yeah, and there's a lot of hint topics here, but there's a strange one I did when I was reading about these hints and just getting all the information I could. There is a rare hint in the pool that says requires the bow, and the only location that requires the bow meets across all modes so that it can show up is Helmsar King. It's weird.
Yeah, there's a couple of those. I think requires a glove, for example, means only Spike Cave and nothing else as well.
A map and oh, Thalane did leave a unique item behind in Swamp.
Yeah, now that could be. Well, they have the knowledge of it, so
yeah,
could decide to just go there right after this.
Yeah, it makes
Qirn is right next to Swamp Palace right now. They could make the play to go in there. See if they decide to go over there and maybe go back into Ice Palace again.
Yeah.
Looks like we're heading towards possibly Swamp here. And getting the boots as well, so if they find Ether, they're guaranteed to be in go mode.
And some cash requires the boots. I think that hint actually only locks Bonk Rocks and the Torch. But regardless, it's still good to know that nothing is locked hard behind those.
So there is definitely more unique items than only the Ether left in the pool, but there are definitely a limited amount of them, so it'll be very interesting to see what Qirn does here. I would imagine they'll go to the back at first as well, because that just makes sense. But when they don't get their progression there, very much interesting to see what Qirn decides to go left side or not.
And it looks like we might have an item in the basin here of Hera. So we'll see what Thalane decides to do here.
Yeah, and they're just floating straight away, so I would say... Yeah, looks like they're just gonna head into left side swamp straight away and make sure that they did not leave Ether in there, and if they did, gonna pick it up as soon as possible.
Well, as of this point, thalane and Qirn are kind of tight on dungeon progression right now.
Yeah, I'd say if it is Ether in here, that thalane does have an edge for sure. Qirn has a little bit more to clear up, I would say.
Yeah, Qirn wasted a lot of time doing super money, but it wasn't all for naught. He did get a lot of information, so he could pick up a lot of different items. Did we get a hint saying unique item was a mimic cave? I actually don't remember.
Not to my knowledge, but I could have missed it.
I was thinking Qirn found it. Oh, could it have been an Eastern?
That could have been it. I can't really remember what the Eastern hint was. But that's very possible.
Well, thalane will check that eventually, because Eastern is going to be on his next... is most likely his next target. They're double touching swamp here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would make sense.
Because all he has left to do is Eastern as well as Meyer for his 2 dungeons.
Yeah, at this point, if Qirn did get that, and almost surprised they just didn't head up and clear Hera and check the Mimic Cave on the way, seeing as they're only 1 item away from go mode. Really nice start there on the dash strats here against Argus, just barely missing the 1 cycle or the 0 cycle, but good job. That strategy is really hard to pull off.
Yeah. I can expect Qirn to check Mimic Cave right away after on the way to Hera. But right now, Qirn needs to focus on dungeon clearing. He's probably feeling a little bit behind because of how late his Moon Pearl was.
So here's left side swamp. It's a blue boomerang.
That counts as unique.
That's not what you want to see. And Qirn is skipping it, which is good news for them.
Yeah. So this is gonna be, yeah, Eastern Palace to get the hint.
Yeah, and that's gonna feel bad because they were right up there on Death Mountain and then got debated by a hint in Hera. And going back down again and seeing another hint that tells you to go back up the mountain again.
Well, it won't be that much of a time loss though, because getting to Mimic Cave is far easier in Inverted than it is in Standard or Open.
Mm-hmm.
And for all we know, these hints could just be just to junk items.
Yeah.
And our actual answer is like in King's Tomb or something, because I don't think we've checked that.
Yeah, I don't think we saw any of the either King's Tomb or Bump Rocks.
And yeah, we haven't even checked our badge quest yet either. So we're gonna be relatively done here soon. So one way or the other, at least.
Mm-hmm. So it's gonna be a nice dungeon here for thalane as well. There's really not much to it when you get all of the items straight away in Eastern. Like, it's still faster to go mode, but it's not too much faster really.
Someone is asking where Quake is. Desert Ledge, and the book is in Ganon's Tower, so that's not required. Even then, Turtle Rock can be backdoored and inverted as well, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh, it was him in the Molder cave, it said.
Oh, that was our boots in then.
Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense then.
Alright.
Yeah, since there's always a hint or guaranteed to tell you where the boots is, that most certainly was that one.
I don't even think there was a Mimikin. I think we got it mixed up with Moldworm.
Yeah, probably. Because if there was a Mimic Cave hint, I would be very surprised to see like Qirn just wins and not taking that chance of what would it be, like a 20% chance at the very least that it would be go mode.
And nice setup here for get the quick kill on the Armos Knights. Set up perfectly. Oh, one got away. Good recovery there, at least, though. It's not hard to recover against the Armos Knights, to be fair, because they're 100% pattern based, but good recovery all the same. He missed one shot.
It's not really a fight you practice to do like a backup strat for, because most of the times it's not really something you need to do.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even think about this. Our Ether Medallion could be on Sahasrara.
Yeah, it could be.
We've had the ability to full clear pod for a while now.
Yeah.
We've checked all the chests except for one, and that was on Helmosaur King.
It looks like we're gonna get our boots locations here. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna
so we're
start.
Go into back of escape first.
Yeah. No, Pet is 100% dead here, folks, because Ganon's Tower has the book. So, which means we cannot have anything on pedestal that is progression, due to Desert being a book-required dungeon in Inverted. That's not saying that Pen and Dungeon Tower can have stuff. It's just Desert can't have anything.
On thalane, skipping the Sanctuary chest, so I guess they know that has to be the map then.
Yeah. The map or the small key, which neither they don't care about.
Yeah.
So you saw requires the boots in, but let's see if this is what it meant. Nope. But that's not what thalane is looking for all the same.
Did we see King's Tomb? Because otherwise...
I don't know if we saw King's Tomb, but...
skipped it. They didn't check it now, so I would imagine... that's interesting.
Yeah,
what was the boots hint you were talking about?
There was a hint that we got for that. There was a cash lock occupying boots.
So maybe they're thinking it could be in Kingston, but like it could be in Ganon's Tower and Desert as well, right?
Yeah.
Because of the torches. So it seems a little bit odd to skip Kingston with someone.
Well, something we're not skipping is the Zora's domain checks. We have not seen this, I think. I think Qirn could not get up here.
Looks like Qirn is actually gonna head there right now.
Piece of heart. And 3 bombs.
Oh, Chef making a good point. Lumberjack was money, so that's the boost required hint for cash.
Oh, is that it? Yeah, that's silvers. Yeah. Good find there.
Yeah, for sure. That's gonna make Ganon easier, and both our runners are gonna get that.
Now the question is, does Zora have something else? Yeah, he just cut off a 0. Thalane's not gonna go pick that up. Doesn't have really any money. Or has plenty of money to burn. So Qirn's also gonna be picking up those silver arrows. And now it's decision time.
It definitely is. There's a lot of interesting decisions to be made right now. Seeing a Uncle check here, but we know Uncle does not really have anything of value. Qirn, on the other hand, where are you gonna go? Up the mountain, maybe? Yeah, makes sense. Go up to Hera.
Yeah, go up the Hera check. If it's a Mimic Cave, then Qirn just is gonna win.
Yeah, we have, so let's see, we have Mimic Cave, Spiral Cave, and Spike Cave up here that we have not checked yet, I believe. Also Trinex, but we don't have the Ice Rod for that.
Yeah. So let's see where Thalane's going here. Going to...
check those two, Checkboard and Agahnim Cave. I was talking a little bit about that earlier. It's a little bit out of the way when you've already been over here once, but yeah, the flute definitely makes it a little bit more convenient.
Just a hard container here.
So here's Mimic Cave, and let's see what this contains.
Yeah, we're getting 2 different checks here at the same time.
Yeah.
Qirn, shovel.
Oh, shovel. Okay, well, that could be something.
That's all our fetch quests. So powder could have something. The shovel could have something. We still don't know where this ether medallion is. It's not the ice rod, but it's certainly a very cold item that's being very obscurely hidden.
Yeah, really elusive at the moment. Looks like we're getting a pod play here. So we're gonna get that green pendant and be able to turn that in.
Yeah.
Basically acts like a fetch quest out of itself.
Yeah. Thalane also hasn't done the rest of House Darkness, did not potion glitch, so this is new information for him at least. And we're gonna see what Spiral Cave has. I don't think Thalane checked this.
Yeah, I don't think so as well. They went straight over to Hera and got that hint. It's a bottle, so yeah, that doesn't really help us much. Not even a potion or something that could be useful. But I like the decision here from Qirn to shake both Mimic Cave and Spiral Cave first. Because if Hera is nothing, then you probably want to do it right Spike Cave right after.
Yeah, not everything that's a Y item is considered unique. Although I think that just applies to bottles.
And now Qirn is getting the same hint that we saw earlier here, so that could make them go back into the swamp as well.
Yeah, for all the Super Bunnies that Qirn has out, this is still a fairly even race.
Yeah, like as soon as Qirn is done with this dungeon, they both only have Mire left, so it's all about who gets the Ether medallion first.
Yeah, I think thalane is in the overall better position, unless the shovel locks the item.
Yeah, the hint said it was a unique item in the left side of Swamp Palace.
Yes, but we know that was the boomerang though, because the other item was the map.
Qirn, however, does not. So would not be surprised to see them go for that play, which would be unfortunate. They will lose a bit of time, but overall would have mean both of our runners did that at the very least, so they didn't really lose time in that sense to each other.
And thalane is going to be fighting Helmstar King, it looks like.
Yeah, makes sense. You went all the way over here. Why leave one item left behind? Especially not when you're starting to get fewer items left to check now. So it's not like you have a lot of options open to you at the moment.
And we're gonna see some new, information. So let's see what we got here, folks. This could be Ether. No, it's
use the blue rupee. Yeah, it's not gonna be very helpful in the quest to get into my ear. So, question time here. Will Qirn do the shovel before heading into Swamp Palace?
If you don't do it before, you do it after, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
But he's going to be in the light world first, so maybe you do the shovel first, because it's just lifting this rock and going one screen to the left.
Looks like it's swamp time. Can't blame them after getting that hint.
Almost got a very clean turtle room there for thalane. The last one flipping over just the last second, denying the quick group kill. Alright, so Helmstar King just either moves or attacks, does not do both until the mask is broken, in which he can start doing both. He also gets faster without that mask, so gotta be really quick, but we'll set up the fire shot, so he was not gonna move. Because his AI didn't kick in, and yeah, GG to him. Yeah, and on Helmstar King had the gold sword.
That's our last sword. That's a golden legendary for sure. So we did get the green pendant as well, so that's something we can turn in. There's one more item check to do, and we're starting at this point almost to slowly but surely run out of more and more locations to check.
Yeah, at this point it's pretty much at a fetch quest location. So really the only advantage that each runner has to the other is green pendant versus shovel.
Yeah.
Because we know the mushroom doesn't have anything. And if both need to check the magic bag, both can do so. And thalane turns in the green pendant to find 20 rupees. Uh-oh. Is the shovel the answer?
Well, it looks a little bit more likely at this point, at the very least.
Well, let's see what Thalane finds over here. I think he's going to check King's Tomb now, if he hasn't done so.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a weird skip that they did before, and they might have realized that as well, being like, wait a minute, I really should have checked this.
Yeah, King's Tomb it is. And there's the boomerang for Qirn. And King's Tomb today, Rich King.
Rupees. Yeah,
Getting...
seems fitting.
We are running out of locations. Okay, this is moment of truth for Qirn. He's making moves to the desert, actually. Never mind. We've seen these items.
Yeah. I believe the Qirn still has not activated their flick yet.
Ooh.
So, made sense to them to just run over here real quick, but puts them further away from that shovel shake. But getting a powder shake here, Lana, so...
Yeah, this has gotta be it for Thalane. If it's not, then it's Honor Shuffle, and that's GG, because I don't know where else it could be.
Magic has what for us? It is a heart piece. Okay.
Ooh. So it's Shuffle. Shuffle
yeah, are we
leads to
done to that now?
I can't think of any other location. He knows. Thalane will know to check the mountain now.
Qirn doing a 7 quid in the Dark World, though not wanna find herself on top of Hyrule Castle again, and is okay. Interesting. Well, looks like they're deciding. Well, this is probably not where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
Link's house instead. So this could very well be that shovel shake to do.
Yeah, and Qirn is a significantly amount of behind in terms of checks. But if this singular shovel turns out to be our progression, Qirn will suddenly be ahead.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else it couldn't be, though, so...
Would be hilarious if it was like the Ice Road or something.
Interesting that he's going this way. Didn't want to lift the rock on the screen, I guess?
So this is it.
Yep.
Triple menu to get to this shovel and get bombed.
What?
Okay, so we're definitely missing something.
Alright, that's like...
Did both of them skip Tower of Hera Basement?
Oh, they did! Chat's absolutely right, it's Hera Basement!
Oh boy, well that gives definitely the momentum back to Solana then, because they're up here on the mountain and they're probably gonna full clear everything so they're not being forced to go back here another time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that makes kind of sense that both of them did skip that after getting that hint.
And yeah, folks, we pretty much have last location this Ether Medallion for our go mode here. And if it's not Ether Medallion, then it has to be something that leads us to another piece of item. And the only other thing that's in logic is a Trinex kill. So it would either be one forward cold magic or the other. We can't have... It has to be one of them.
Yeah.
And as a reminder, folks, Boka's in GT. That's not a part of the equation at all in this race.
Yeah, so this is gonna give a pretty significant lead for Thalane for sure. We see our tracker even hinting a little bit about the Ether coming up here, most likely at the very least, unless it's Ice Rod.
Yeah, no chicken, no color here. Qirn is now going to start checking checks that he left behind as a Super Bunny.
Speaking of our tracker, by the way, I want to give some big thanks and shout outs to Demon's Druid, who's been tracking and keeping check of everything happening in this race. It's been very back and forth and a lot of things happening at the same time, so definitely props to Demon's Druid for sure.
Yep, Flute's coming out online for Qirn.
And here again.
And there it is.
Yep.
Ether Medallion for Thalane. He is now in Go mode, and as a reminder to chat, this is inverted. The book is 100% required to go into Desert Palace, so that means and with the book in Ganos Tower, that means Ped was dead as soon as we got that information.
That's Go mode, and not sure where we're not just floating. Oh, we're getting some health back first, so we can have some sword beams. That makes sense.
Yep. One dungeon remains, and it is Misery Mire.
Yeah, so definitely a lead here at the moment. This is game 1 out of 2 for tonight between these two, though. So
yes, and
as soon as they're done with this one, they will have like a short little break and then go into the next game.
And you will have us on the mic once again for that second match. We are looking forward to it, or at least I hope so.
Yeah, it's gonna be a swordless inverted hard mode seed.
Yeah,
What's
so
about that?
So basically, if you want to think about it this way, this seed here was just a warm up.
Yeah, pretty much.
But with this win here against Qirn, Thalane will have pretty much solidified himself as the top spot of Group L. This will push him to 12-2 in the location, and no one can touch him at this point. It was actually hard pressed. Actually, if I'm reading this right, no one could have touched him anyway.
Yeah, and at the same time, Qirn is fighting for survival at this point, because Big Dunka is at the moment at the second spot in the group, but Qirn still has the chance to catch up. They pretty much will need at the return here tonight to have a fairly good chance of doing so.
Qirn is not quite eliminated yet. If he wins every other, at least one game against Thalane here, and he still has one more game with us in the same game tonight, he has a chance of putting himself into contention against Big Dunka, who is the second place person of Group L at this point in time. So there is still a shot for Qirn, but he needs a win against Thalane.
Yeah, when I talked to Qirn before the race, he said that if he can get one win here today, he will have a chance to either tie with Big Dunka or to get the second spot. So that's pretty much their priority in this one. Try and get at least one out of these two wins.
Yeah. I think this was probably the better spot because he knows that Thalane's execution is really good. Or at least that's what he felt.
Yeah, we've seen both runners do some pretty solid gambles, but most of them really didn't really pay off for any of the runners because they're, well, seeing as the last location that Ether.
And Qirn still has yet to find.
Yeah, I think at that point, like when you're leaving the mountain with only one item left in the Hera basement, especially in inverted where it takes a little bit longer to get up to Hera, pretty much committed to that being your last location. It's basically like leaving left spawn. And how like ironic was it that the hint in Hera was the reason that both our runners did not get the Eve earlier. Definitely shows how hints can kind of not always be helpful. Sometimes it can be a little bit disruptive as well.
Yeah. Especially hints that are just basically free information if you know where to look. Thalane finding the big key now as well, on their way to Vitreous. And, you know, we don't really have much time left, do we? Before we go into Ganon's Tower. It's just a quick save and quit away.
Yeah, it's gonna be super fast. Yes, save and quit for sure. I do believe we have a certain bot in the Link to the Past Randomizer channels as well.
That's right. So, folks, here at A Link to the Past Randomizer, we also get to play the game. So, real quick, I'm going to go and explain it in advance here because, well, Vitreous is going to die relatively quickly and we don't have much time. So we have 22 chests in Ganon's Tower, one of which is going to contain our big key. Put your guess in chat. We're welcome this time here on the Link to the Past Randomizer. And tell us which chest you think the entire big key will be in once we get the bot online for you. The more people that you're fighting against, the more people who take part in the game, the higher your score will be if you win. And that is Thalane's 7th crystal. And where do you think the big key is there?
I put it at 17 because I think it's gonna be behind Ice Arms. But who knows? 17 might not even be behind Ice Arms depending on the routing, I guess.
I would say it's at 6. I'm gonna say it's at Compass Chest. I feel it's gonna be relatively fast, and all right, we're in Ganon's Tower.
Okay, so let's see what we got here first.
And it's...
Well, we got a small key, so we're probably going to the right side. Check that compass chest room. And Qirn is heading back into Feast Town. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Might think there's still a unique item in here, which we know there's not. It was just the gloves that hint related to. Thalane almost got caught by that wall master.
Yeah, that was pretty close. So with everything that this siege threw at us, Thalane might still get a sub 2 if there's another big key like that.
Called it!
GG to Wolflink. Yeah, you definitely call that one.
So, ladies and gentlemen, officially, the big key was in chest number 6, the compass chest. I called the exact chest too, which is the best part. But let's see who guessed first. Rune Zephyrus beat me to the big key guess of 6. But GG's you, so we both won, and I can take.
Yeah.
I can share the victory there.
Yeah, well played to both of you for sure. And Qirn realized that, yep, I know where progression is. So basically we have everything we could possibly want to have going up here in Ganon's tower. We don't have half magic, but like when we have silvers and we have butter sword, I don't think half magic is going to be too missed.
I'd argue that thalane would want one thing right now.
Some health?
Well, a potion.
Yeah. They have the powder at ready, so they can get some refills if they want to, but it looks like they're even gonna skip that.
And, someone was asking, are those pegs the metric symbol? No, but those pegs on top of Turtle Rock do kind of look like a metric, don't they?
The pegs... Oh, yeah, I guess.
I think the Metroid symbol is actually the screw attack icon. And just cleaning up this Ganon's tower.
Yeah, this... going at high speed here.
Yeah. Has to be a little careful, though. Not too much in the way of health here. We'll be set up to do the double heal on the fairies in the next couple of rooms, but has to get to those next couple of rooms first.
Yeah, I'd say doing the gauntlet here, which is basically all about execution.
Oh! Nice backup.
Yeah, this is definitely where the NMG practice is gonna hit in. And nice, yeah, nice save there.
Should have just enough magic as well for the powder. And just for extra protection, there's the shield. And that means the laser bridge logic was intended for you to check Kane and Burna, but there was nothing there anyway.
Yeah. So no more chests in the games left here. We only need to go beat Aga 2 and then beat Ganon.
Yeah. And we never saw that book. Oh well. Keep in mind, folks, this is just game 1 here. We'll be bringing you game 2 as the conclusion of this race, following a short break for most of us involved.
There's Aga 2 down. Really nice fight.
And with Aga 2 down, it is now time to fight the pig, and this is going to be textbook. Gold sword and silver arrows in hand, just 6 slashes a phase to get Ganon through the trident throw and as well as the fire shield phases. Then it's on the ground pound phase, in which Ganon will have seated teleports for both runners. These change on death or fall. And fall because Ganon will ground pound and break the floor as you hit him when he stops teleporting in that phase. 4 hits in that phase, 1 for each side of the room. And then last but not least is the darkness technique. Keep the torches lit, hit him with a sword of stun, and then hit him with 4 silver arrows. If you somehow run out of silver arrow shots, it would be 3 spin attacks per missed silver arrow as Ganon begins to teleport away. Those are what we call the silver strats. And
yeah, we're almost in that phase 4 already. if Ganon could please stop teleporting. No? Okay.
Yeah, Ganon's being kind of nasty with this third teleport set up here.
How long can this go on?
And Qirn will have that same amount of teleports too.
This is where you want to get a 1 in 2 cycle instead on the first 2 phases, just to get those teleports a little bit differently. One more silver hit should do it. There we go.
And get your GGs in chat for Thalane, who comes out of this first of 2 races the winner. And has crossed the finish line in first place with an official time of 2 hours and 56 seconds.
Yeah, big GG's to Thalane, making a really impressive run. Almost got that sub 2. Probably would have been even closer if Ganon would have behaved a little bit more. But yeah, that's really impressive.
So once again, folks, stay tuned here as me and Walter will be commentating Game 2 here. And Qirn, real quick, has forfeited from this race here, so we will be going to get the next race going for you folks.
Yeah,
this race
makes sense.
This race will be about 10 minutes. It's just give our runners a little bit of time to relax. Excellent, get going. There will be no interviews, of course, until then. But in the meantime, stay tuned, folks. And if you are interested in seeing another race, the Links Past Randomizer 1 is currently having Swerve versus Someone 325. That started about an hour ago. So if you want to get a little bit of a little extra randomizer action in between the break, I suppose you can just tune in there. But stay tuned, folks. We'll be bringing you Game 2 shortly. We'll be also changing out our tracker, who was Demoness Druid for this race. Shout out to him once again for tracking all these items up for you. Doing a great job for us. And that's going to be it for us for the time being. So stay tuned, folks. Game 2 between Qirn and Thalane. Their Game 3 it will be in a little bit. It will be Ganon, inverted, swordless, hard difficulty. Good afternoon and welcome back everyone to Qirn versus Thalane. This will be game 2 between them, and we're going to crank it up a little bit from last time. Last time it was just randomized swords and normal difficulty. Now we're going to be playing on swordless and hard. And of course, I am joined once again by Walter the Fourth. How's it going?
Very well. The first race was pretty nuts, and I think this one has the potential to be maybe even more nuts.
Oh yeah. So, in addition to everything that we just experienced in inverted mode, now we don't get any swords whatsoever. And we get less safety items in general because of hard difficulty. There's still 3 males, there's still 3 shields in the pool, but we only go up to the second highest tier that we could. So we'll only be able to get fire shield, as well as the blue male, and Zelda seems to have changed the sprite over to Ultros.
Yeah. I see some practicing on the swordless fights already. Looks like Thalane is switching sprite here and is also saying in their file names this is for Dunka. I do believe that they are so seems reasonable that it would be nice for both of them to make it out of the groups for sure.
Yeah. And I believe if Qirn can win this, he has a shot of upsetting Big Dunka. His second place position here in the Group L brackets. But if he fails to his best lane here in this game 3, which was bot decided, I should add. Actually, I didn't get the vetoes.
So well, I believe the vetoes. No, wait, I don't remember what the vetoes were.
Well, we can ask them later.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Qirn cannot beat Thalane in this 3rd game, then Thalane will have locked in both himself and Dunka pretty much.
Yeah, I believe if Qirn wins this one, at the very least, he could still tie Dunka. If Qirn loses this one, though, I believe that Dunka has everything in his own hands of making brackets at that point.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, the brackets could be decided right here, right now, on this last seed between these two. And this is Thalane's last game. He is now 12-2 in the brackets of Group L, or the group stage of Group L, which means he is... Well, he was already guaranteed, but now he's even more so. So he's playing for positioning at this point for bracket stage.
Yeah, it's an extremely impressive record, especially seeing as this group is a really competitive one.
Yes. So